Goat yoga, also known as yoga with goats, is a form of exercise that incorporates the use of live animals for what are called animal-assisted activities. It was originally developed in the US by Lainey Morse and her partner Steph Browning. The idea came about when they were walking their goats on a beach one day and thought what would happen if we tried to do yoga with them in the park. They rented a local community center, rounded up some friends, bought some mats, set up some chairs and put out hay bales for the goats to lie down on. And what followed was 10 minutes of laughter as people got into positions next to what quickly became apparent were very friendly goat faces. Is goat yoga real? Absolutely yes. Goat yoga is a real thing that exists in America and it's gaining popularity with each passing day. If you haven't heard yet, goat yoga is basically yoga with goats present at the class. The goats are kept under control by their owners or staff at all times, so you don't really have to worry about things going out of hand and being gored by one of them. But other than goats, you'll find the rest of the things being familiar with normal yoga classes. Things like mats, blocks and even instructors teaching you about the different poses and encouraging you to do your best are all available. Some places even offer milking lessons, but that's another story altogether. Just remember that goat yoga attracts more men than women. Although it doesn't really matter as long as you're doing what you love to do. Goat yoga actually has its benefits and is good for both your mind and body. For one thing, it's a fun activity that you can do with your friends. It's certainly a different way of doing yoga, so you'll always be entertained by the playful antics of the animals, especially the goats. You'll enjoy interacting with them and playing around with them as well. Is goat yoga safe? The answer is, obviously, yes. The goats are well trained and very friendly. They never jump on top or around you. In fact, after having been to goat yoga a couple of times, I don't think I've even seen them hop much at all. The yoga part of goat yoga is also safe. Though it may lack the physical intensity of your average goat yoga class, which likely has something to do with the fact that a large animal is bouncing around between your legs, it really doesn't fall short on mental focus as so many other classes do. There's so much to watch and enjoy here that it would be impossible not to remain engaged during class. Whether it's watching someone struggle to balance on one leg while attempting a headstand or watching a particularly awkward goat walk across someone's back, it's hard to stop cringing or laughing during this class. It's also a lot more relaxing than some other yoga classes I've tried. You don't need to worry about feeling self-conscious in your silly outfit or being haunted by the thought that someone is judging how good or bad you are at balancing on one leg with your eyes closed. A bit of an exaggeration, but you get the point. Is goat yoga fun? Yes, it is. Goat yoga is more fun than normal yoga because goats in studios seem to be having a great time. While instructors may have their serious side, and talk about enlightenment and nirvana, the goats are just playing around. It's done purely for the fun of it, and probably because it brings in more revenue than normal studio yoga classes. A goat yoga class is usually done in groups. There's an hour-long session where you're just relaxing and doing your own thing, while goats are running around. The best part? Getting to pet one of the cute goats that will be nuzzling up next to you during savasana or child's pose. Is goat yoga a sport? It might not seem that way, but there is actually a lot of strength and dexterity involved. It requires the human participants to hold poses for extended periods of time while balancing on top of a goat. This is done without falling off or being kicked. Athletes will hold poses like downward dog, warrior two, and tree pose while they are on the back of a goat. The goats in this sport must be well trained to do their part. They must also not kick or buck too much and throw off the human participants. These goats are trained for months before they hit the yoga mats with humans on top of them.